For the first time ever, it's Coppin State, the Eagles, taking on the Huskies of the University of Connecticut. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Sims, and this is also another first tonight for my new broadcast partner, Bob Wenzel, the former coach of Rutgers University. And Bob, welcome to television.
Thank you very much. It's great to be with you, Dave.
Well, tonight in your first game tonight, we're talking about a couple of really good guards. Let's start talking about Connecticut.
Connecticut's Ricky Moore is just an outstanding mailman. He delivers the ball to all of their scorers. He is doing a remarkable job this year. He has 2 turnovers, count them, 2 turnovers in 3 games. A terrific job by Ricky Moore to the start of the season.
And Khalid El-Amin, the outstanding freshman from Minnesota, he's been getting it done too.
Top 5 freshman in America. He can shoot the 3, he can pressure people, he takes it to the basket, and he's got great upper body strength for a little guy.
When you look at a team like Coppin State, remember them from last year in the NCAAs. They knocked off South Carolina. They did it with fabulous guard play.
B.J. Mackey and Jamie Watson were 2 of the most outstanding guards for South Carolina in the country last year. And Danny Singletary and Antoine Brockington did a number on them and won that game in the NCAA.
They did a fantastic job, no doubt about it, and there's something to reckon with as we move along tonight. Starting lineups coming your way. We'll do that from Hartford right after this. From the Hartford Civic Center this evening, Dave Sims and Bob Wenzel and the Big East crew on hand. First ever meeting between Coppin State and UConn. A look at the starting lineups, and Kareem Lewis, a good one from Brooklyn, New York, New Utrecht High School, preseason All-Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference first team, and he started 22 of 31 games last year for the Eagles. And Fang Mitchell looks for him to carry a bigger load, and there he is, Ron Fang Mitchell, out of Philadelphia and Camden, New Jersey, and he has done a terrific job going on and playing just about anybody in the country. We'll talk about that more later on. For Jim Calhoun's Connecticut Huskies, it's Rip Hamilton coming off a 1-for-11 outing last week against Rhode Island, looking for him to rebound. And there's a look at Jimmy Calhoun. He has built a dynamic program here at the University of Connecticut. 243 wins over his 12 years. The officials, John Cowell, Keith Herring, and Fran Connolly. Pretty good crowd on hand here at the Hartford Civic Center. Not quite a sellout, but looking in the 12 to 13,000 range. 16,000 and change is capacity, and the Huskies will get first crack at it. The outstanding freshman Khalid El-Amin is not starting due to a coach's decision, disciplinary situation.
Matchup zone by the Eagles.
Voskuhl to Moore. Voskuhl scored a lot like that the other night against Rhode Island. He picks up where he left off.
Rhode Island decided not to guard him on the high post, and it looks like Coppin's making the same mistake.
Coppin State Eagles. Singletary in the corner to Warwick. Danny Singletary out of Patterson, New Jersey. This is Fred Warwick out of Philadelphia's Bott Vocational, and a traveling violation. Turnover, first of the night. Kareem Lewis turned it over. There's El-Amin.
El-Amin disciplined a little bit after the Rhode Island game, decided not to practice that hard. That does not fit in with Coach Calhoun's successful program here, and he's trying to teach the freshmen a little lesson.
Welcome to the Big East. You've been in situations like that in your long
Well, he's got to do that.
career.
He's got to do that, and he certainly has enough talented players to continue playing. I'm sure he's going to see a lot of action tonight, but it's a good lesson for a young guy to learn early in his career.
Standard college basketball rules tonight. None of the experimental rules that you may be familiar with the last week or so with the Chase preseason NIT, and Rip Hamilton off the schneid, his first bucket of the evening.
Well, he's doing as well tonight as he did all the last game against Rhode Island, so he needs to get off. And here we go with the 2-2-1 pressure.
Turnover, Ricky Moore has got a layup. It got blocked, but a foul. And one thing you're going to see on the sidelines, Fang Mitchell is animated.
Well, he's an animated guy. He's a terrific guy. He's a very well-respected coach in our ranks, and he's a guy who's done a tremendous job wherever he's been.
He's got a real deep voice, and those of you old enough to remember the Soupy Sales show, who could forget White Fang and Black Fang? And Fang was named after White Fang, and he said they shortened it to just Fang, and he's been known by that moniker for many a year.
When you say Ron, I came into the shoot-around today, I said, hey, Ron, he doesn't even turn around.
That's right. Freeman picked up the foul.
His first personal foul.
His first. 4-0 Connecticut. Warwick being guarded by Rip Hamilton.
They're trying to be patient here. You know, they want to get into a situation where they're not getting too many possessions, where they're rebounding, lack of rebounding, it becomes a problem for them.
Patient play. You'll see a zone that's reminiscent of Temple, and there's a 3-point bucket by Fred Warwick. And the Coppin Eagles are on the board.
Warwick is a scorer. You will see him fire a lot of shots tonight. Came off the bench last year, starting this year.
Hamilton in the corner. It's Hamilton, Moore, Voskuhl, Freeman on the floor, along with Jones for Connecticut. Cross court, swing it to Hamilton. Great jump shooter. Steps in. Voskuhl's got a gimme, and he rolls it home.
Dave, that's beautiful basketball. Cross court pass, make the defense run out you, then hit the guy in the middle for a nice little jump shot. You see the 2-2-1 pressure coming up.
So Voskuhl off to a real good start. He's made both of his field goal attempts as Elamine is about to come in at the next dead ball.
Well, he gave him a lesson, but he doesn't want to stay out there too long.
I'll tell you what, if you have not seen this youngster, you're in for a treat. This Coppin State Ball Club, major upset last year. Big hoist, and it's good. Antoine Brockington.
Little pick and roll action, step back and knock in the 3 from deep.
The Eagles are fearless. Knocked off 2-seed South Carolina in first round NCAA play last March, and not only did they beat them handily, 78-65. Cross court, Hamilton wide open. He's deadly, and he nails it.
Cross court pass is very, very smart by Connecticut against this type of matchup zone. You throw a cross court, which is not a normal play, but against zone is very, very sound.
Warwick gets it back. Good-looking 3. Pena had his hands on it. Voskuhl wins the battle. Here comes Connecticut. Hamilton in a hurry. Numbers against him. Sets up Moore. Wide open. Hits the 3. 12-6 Connecticut.
They're hot tonight, and when they score baskets early, they can get into their 2-2-1 press. The spacing so far has been good for Coppin. They're handling it not bad.
Coppin comes in after scoring 79 points per game last year. This is their first contest of the season. Singletary, the lefty, on his favored side with the runners good. 12-8.
You see, they have no fear. These guys have been in big games. They know what to do. Change of defense here. Extending the trap, trying to get maybe a little trap at half court.
Frank Mitchell has a tremendous schedule this year. They're big favorites in the MEAC this year. Hamilton from deep can't get it. Rebound tipped around, and Coppin comes up with it. That was Warwick. Schedule this year for Coppin State includes this game at Missouri and another 3 by Warwick.
As you can see, the 3-point shooting is a very valuable tool for them, and Connecticut's going to have to step up the perimeter defense. They got to get up on people.
Hamilton, cross court. Jones is there, and he hits the 3.
Well, this is like Saturday afternoon at the park. Everybody's loose. We're knocking in 3s all over the place here today.
Huskies by 4. Still against the press.
Good spacing. Man in the middle, look opposite when you catch the ball.
Done a good job. It's one of the many games that Fang Mitchell's preparing this club. It's going on the road at Missouri, at Arizona, and at Wisconsin. Turnover. It went through the hands of Brockington. Timeout on the floor, 14:43 to go. First half, it's Connecticut by 4, 15-11. Point shooting tonight, Bob Wenzel. A lot of openings that folks are taking advantage of.
Pick and roll here. Brockington a little step back, starts to use the screen, backs up. That's an NBA 3. Nothing but bottom.
And Hamilton along the baseline this time. They swing it, and actually he was up top.
On the cross court to the wing-to-wing pass against the matchup zone. Very sound basketball. And for a guy who's the best shooter on UConn's team, they're getting him off right away tonight. Very important for him.
And the other thing, sorry about the other thing too, it's amazing how he hasn't drawn a heck of a lot of attention to this point.
Well, they're trying to guard everybody. They got a lot of tools out here with UConn.
Elamine is in the game, number 42, the freshman from Minneapolis.
Change of defense to man-to-man here. Having played matchup after the timeout, they switch defense.
Moore in the paint, leaves for Voskuhl. And Voskuhl's having a terrific run here. He's 3 for 3, coming off the 15-point career high and a 14-rebound performance against Rhode Island. 7 for 10 shooting.
He wants to be a player. Went to the Pete Newell camp, the famous camp in Hawaii. Went there to try to improve his skills. He has very good explosiveness.
Pete Newell camp. Pete, the great Hall of Fame coach, led Cal to the '59 national championship, is exclusively for big men.
I like what Jim's doing here, changing defense also. Both coaches change defense after the timeout, throw somebody's rhythm off maybe. Connecticut needs to get a little bit more pressure on the ball.
It'll be Connecticut ball, as Singletary could not save it in. Jim Calhoun and the Huskies will be going to New York tomorrow. Preseason NIT semifinals. They'll rematch against Florida State, a team that knocked them out in the semifinals last March in the NIT. As Moore misses, Freeman kept it alive. Warwick brings it down for Coppin State.
They went back matchup again. Only one possession of man-to-man. Watch out for the three.
That was blocked. Hamilton comes up with it. Voskuhl got a piece of it. Out of bounds on Coppin State. It'll be Connecticut ball.
You can see Jim made the point to them at the timeout that they have to get up on shooters. They can't be letting people shoot 75% from three-point range, and they did it right there. Great block by Voskuhl.
So Voskuhl really impacting large here in the early going. 6-point Connecticut lead, 17-16. Dave Sims and Bob Wenzel with you from the Hartford Civic Center. And there's a pass stolen. Brockington's got it against Elamine. He's going to pull up in his face and nails it. What a play.
Terrific steal. He jumped into the passing lane nicely. Long-armed player.
Open man is Hamilton for 3. Line drive, and it's good. A festival of threes tonight, folks.
We got some action from long range.
7-point Connecticut lead coming up on the 13-minute mark. First game for Coppin State. Coming off a 22-9 campaign last year. They went 15-3 in the MEAC, Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. A little strong by Singletary. He's down on the floor. Connecticut takes over, and this is not good. Voskuhl rolling around, holding his right knee. And the last thing they wanted to see here in Connecticut was Voskuhl, who's off to a terrific start, going down. You saw that big pileup.
It might have been knee on knee. I didn't see the play closely enough to know.
When you get those knee to knees, those are the worst. Joe Sharp, the trainer for Connecticut, might be able to hear Jimmy Calhoun saying, hey, knee banged it. Coach's nightmare. Got your big guy, 6'11", 235, and a sophomore, and watch Voskuhl.
Baseline drive. He comes to help. Comes down. Not knee to knee. I think he just landed with a stiff leg and hyperextended it a little bit. Looks like he's okay, though. He's a tough young man. He'll be back in a minute.
Connecticut fans, give him a nice round of applause. Happy to see the youngster from Katy, Texas, trying to shake it off.
And Klaber comes in for him, and he's having a terrific year so far, too. Merely 73% from the field so far this year.
For you fans up here in New England, that hometown of Katy, Texas may sound familiar because it's also the hometown of Roger Clemens, Cy Young Award winner in the American League this year. Here's Hardnett. He came in the game, leaves it inside for Klaber, and he misses the layup. 7-point Connecticut lead, Coppin State. Kareem Lewis gets it over to Brockington. Brockington likes that shot, and that's why. That's his spot on the floor. Antoine Brockington, first team All-MEAC. Cross court. Hardnett baseline, leaves it for Klaber. Klaber with the left-hand second, little duck that he's missed in as many trips. Tries to keep it alive. And they're going to call a jump ball possession arrow in favor of Coppin State. So things getting a little rough under the basket right now.
A little sloppy here.
11:57 to go. Connecticut enjoying a 5-point lead in their 4th game of the season. We'll take a look at what he did 5 days ago against Rhode Island, Bob.
We see a lot here. We see a little pick and roll action. Take it to the hoop. Explode. That's what you want your big man to do. Then a little jumper in the middle against his own from the high post. And then an offensive board. What else is there?
Boy, When you get a young man who can do 15 and 14 every night, that could be a heck of a year, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be. And he's an outstanding player. He doesn't get as much ink as a lot of the UConn players, but I think they love him here in UConn. And I know as a coach, he was always a difficult guy to prepare for.
Last year, he averaged 4 points and 5 rebounds. Got a foul, and it's against Connecticut.
They're trying to bring up the pressure a little bit more. They were standard 2-2-1 to see how Coppin State would attack it, what Coppin State's formation would be, and now they're trying to pressure a little bit.
Ricky Moore picked up the foul, his first.
Little touch fouls.
Singletary going against El-Amin. Good matchup. As is this. Hardnett off the bench. He's going against Warwick. Coming right at us. Rockington saves. Back to Singletary. 18 on the shot clock. Picked off. They get it to El-Amin. El-Amin. Nice pass. Freeman goes hard and got fouled. But that was a wonderful pass from the freshman Khalid El-Amin to Kevin Freeman.
Some guys just, the game comes easy to them, and they can make plays, and they just seem natural making plays, and he's one of those guys. A pick off on the cross court, get it to the middle, perfect, fill the lane, nice little left-hand dish.
Nice hard foul by Dorian Pena, his first.
Well, he knows that Kevin's not a good free throw shooter, so he's going to make him make those two instead of have a layup.
Freeman at the line thus far, 58% on this young season. And how about you're being a cameraman and look, it's coming right at you. Bingo!
You got some athletic guys out there, and they're going full speed.
The thing I like about El-Amin and Shaheen Holloway, they absolutely understand it. They get it in terms of when to give the ball up and who to give it up to. Freeman, good trip at the line.
Those two type guys, when they're young, frequently they try to do too much, and that's one of the lessons they have to learn as they go along. But as far as feel of the game, knowing what to do, El-Amin's certainly showing that he knows that.
Jones just came in for Freeman, takes a seat. And a turnover. 5 turnovers for Coppin State.
Early, they were letting Coppin inbound the ball and just playing their 2-2-1. Now the two front guys are denying and really trying to do a job and not let them get the ball in bounds.
Hardnett tried to leave it for Voskuhl, came back in. That was blocked by Kareem Lewis, number 34. And now a carrying violation.
Oh, the anti-Allen Iverson rule is in effect tonight.
And I tell you what, I like that rule.
The offensive player, Dave, was getting too much of an advantage. If he can hold the ball and let that dribble come to a stop and then front change, that's too much of an advantage.
No
it's
question.
It's a good rule, and it's a good way to interpret it now.
And I like the fact that they didn't wait long, you know, they saw it after, I think it only took them, what, a year or maybe 2 years at most to put it into effect. Hardnett blocked by Singletary. Nice defensive play by the senior from Paterson, New Jersey. Warwick's got it teed up for 3. A little short. Moore way upstairs for the rebound. He'll bring it out himself. El-Amin, contact, charge. He gave him a step. Singletary. John Cowell with the call saying that Singletary was there, giving him the proper 1 step. And Jimmy Calhoun, though, vehemently disagrees.
The rules state that you have to give a man a step if he doesn't see you. He did not give him a step, but El-Amin was facing him. He doesn't have to give him a step. Clearly a charge.
First on El-Amin. 22-15. We're under 11 minutes to play here in the first half. First ever meeting between Coppin State out of the MEAC against Connecticut of the Big East. A turnover forced by great defense by El-Amin.
Little personal challenge there. El-Amin wants to get back at Singletary. You notice he's trying to push him right because Singletary's left-handed, and he's a little less effective going that way.
A little pressure now by Coppin State. Cross court, Hamilton's there. El-Amin, young man can shoot it. Short that time, Voskuhl there, can't get it. Kept alive, and Lewis comes down with it, and it's a foul against Jake Voskuhl.
El-Amin was going to pass that ball, and then someone slid in front of Voskuhl, so he had to shoot it. His rhythm still was pretty good, but you want to look to shoot first and pass second in that situation.
First foul on Voskuhl, team 5th.
See how he's pushing him to his right a little bit?
Got a piece of it, too. You gotta like that. Get a freshman in here who's impacted so greatly, and he knows how to play defense and wants to play defense. Rockington with a heave, nothing doing there, and Hamilton brings it down. Hamilton takes himself. Nice look. Voskuhl missed the jam. Haskell was right there. He won't get any better opportunities.
Oh, baby.
Connecticut's missed its last 7 shots.
This is a great nose. He's looking to the right, passing to the left. He's so far above the basket. Must be his knees bothering him. At least that's what he'll tell everybody tomorrow in practice.
Well, I think he'll hear about that one from the teammates.
He'll hear about that
from Hamilton. My goodness.
On the bus to New York tonight, he'll hear about that.
Moore on the line. Rookie out of Augusta, Georgia. Here comes Freeman back into the game for Voskuhl.
Moore's doing a great job this year. You know, with a guy like Elamine coming in and taking the ball and doing a lot of things. Moore was the point guard. He's shooting great from the free throw line, playing terrific defense. I admire this guy.
And they'll shoot that one over again. You saw that obvious lane violation. Rafi Rivas, number 30, couldn't maintain his balance.
Ricky's 10 for 12 coming into this game. Made that first one. Let's see if he makes this. He needs to be up there in the 90s.
4-time MEAC Coach of the Year, Fang Mitchell. Moore, 83% on the line, makes it 24-15. Connecticut. 10-minute mark here at the Hartford Civic Center. Dave Sims and Bob Wenzel, former Rutgers coach, right to the hoop. Right to the hoop is Brockington. Where was the defense on that one?
A little missed assignment there by Kevin Freeman.
Hamilton trying to get it back. Can't get it. Rebound. Goes to Kareem Lewis.
No center in the game for Connecticut.
Warwick pulls up in the lane. High-arcing shot. Boy, that was swept nicely by Freeman. Here comes Connecticut. Elamine. He'll settle. Get it to Moore. Moore baseline. Jump stop. Throws it up and it goes in. What a shot.
Little dipsy-do move with a little English off the glass.
Took his eye off the basket, then gets a piece of it defensively. Ricky Moore quite active.
Who's guarding whom here?
Warwick had a freebie, couldn't get it. Moore, and Connecticut will run with Elamine. In a hurry to Jones, got his man in the air. Runner, but a foul.
The pace of the game is increased with the centers out of the game. Now Jake's going to come back here a little bit. They had a little confusion getting their man. Baseline drive, 2-foot jump stop, little spin.
That's a heck of a shot. He was, you know what? He took his eye off the basket. He's trying to find out where the contact was going to come.
It's also a little lucky, I think.
Oh, you can go out on a limb on that one. I don't think there's any question about it. Archibald Jones out of Port Chester, New York, steps it to the line. Co-captain with Ricky Moore last year.
Outstanding high school player, Gatorade Player of the Year, state championship at Trinity.
Foul was on Singletary, his first.
Rachamel has a teammate, Earl Johnson, playing at Rutgers, top 5 freshman in the league last year. Terrific basketball program there under Coach Mike Walsh at Stanford.
Troy Lewis just came into the game, number 25 for Coppin State, as Jones goes for second.
I'll tell you, these Connecticut guys have terrific form on their free throws. Very, very good perimeter shooting team.
Borne out by the fact that they're 6 for 6 at the line. Coppin could not get the ball in bounds. Nobody came to the ball. It'll be a 22nd timeout called by Fang Mitchell's Eagles.
Excuse me. Fang wants to keep his team close here now. You know, when it gets to be 9 or 10 away, they've got to get themselves a little composed. That's why he took it 20 right now.
And a good move. 9:05 to go here. And the non-conference schedule, this the philosophy from Fang Mitchell picked up from one of his mentors, John Chaney. Hey, go play everybody. Connecticut, Missouri, Zona, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and those are all ats, if you will.
Those at. And of course, you get some guarantee money. A school like Coppin State, which needs budget money, they get guarantee money for playing those games. But it really prepares your team for your league season.
And that's why Fang Mitchell said, listen, his guys were ready last year as a 15 seed, taking on 2-seeded South Carolina, first-round NCAAs last year.
Troy Lewis entering the game, the diminutive guard from Coppin State.
Big man shooting from outside was Kareem Lewis. This is Troy Lewis. He'll reset. He's out of Randallstown, Maryland.
Troy was a starter last year and mostly was a distributor, a defensive player, and I expect him to be in that same kind of role.
Brockington with a hoist, and that was a good-looking shot.
He's an exciting player.
Yes, he is. 28-20 Connecticut. Hamilton penetrates, leaves outside. Missed by Jones, and Lewis will settle things down.
You don't see Brockington coming off staggered screens here. And he's a catch and shoot guy, but he also can put the ball on the floor.
Try to get it inside. Good defense by Jones. This Coppin State ball club lost close to 30 points and 15 rebounds off of last year's club. Turquin Mott graduated. He was 14-9 a game. Reggie Welch was 14-9 a game. And another turnover. It'll be Connecticut ball. Got a timeout on the floor. 7:51 to go. First half here at Hartford. 28-20 Connecticut. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+. Good start here at Connecticut. 28-20 from Hartford. UConn over Coppin State. Here's a reminder to get inside the huddle of your favorite Big East team. Go online at www.bigeast.org for all the basketball and conference news from around the Big East. Checked in this morning, as a matter of fact. UConn moving the ball around. El Amin in some trouble. Finds the open man. Hardnett, they go inside to Voskuhl. Good movement. Hardnett may have gotten away with the step. Hardnett with the shot, nothing doing, and Rivas with the rebound and throws it away. Tried to get it to his point guard, Troy Lewis. That's the 9th turnover for Fang Mitchell's club, and a little exasperation.
Little inexperience. Right here, we got no problem with this guy, however. 5 for 6, 12 points already. He's on fire.
The rest of the team is shooting just 3 for 11 for 8 points. So yes, he does carry a load. Freshman El Amin with the runner. Voskuhl over the back. Voskuhl over the back of Rivas for the foul. That'll be Jake's 2nd foul.
You want big guys going to the boards, but clearly you got to be careful on a play like that, especially when you got fouls.
2nd foul on Jake, the 6th team foul. Here's Warwick to Lewis. Brockington drawing a lot of defensive pressure from Hardnett. How did he get that off? He hung in the air and bought a foul.
Well, here you see a delicate situation. We got pick and roll. He doesn't use it. Comes the other way, whereas there's a clear, and Voskuhl comes over and gets his 3rd foul before Jim could get him out. Some coaches like to take their guys out with 2 fouls in the first half. Some don't. Some players are intelligent enough to play with those fouls. Some aren't. Not a good situation right now.
And there's a situation where Brockington did a super job of creating contact.
Yes, he did. He's a very athletic guy, very quick.
He was one of the Coppin State Eagles that made a name for himself against South Carolina last March with 20 points and 27 against Texas in a 1-point loss in the 2nd round as Voskuhl takes a seat with his 3rd foul.
He's one of those guys, he gets the ball and goes beep, beep, and he's gone.
19th in scoring all time at Coppin State. Front rim, that one. Hardnett rebounds. 28-21 Connecticut. Connecticut, 1 of their last 12 from the field, that after an 8 for 12 start. Hamilton, here's El Amin. Deep shot, nothing doing there. And that's rebounded by Singletary. So Coppin State, the Eagles trying to cut into this 7-point Connecticut lead. Connecticut fans getting a little restless here at the Hartford Civic Center. Lewis spinning, in trouble. Can't get it, and the rebound goes to Antrick Kleber. Nice lead to Freeman, rolls it in. Nice touch pass. 30-21 Connecticut.
Complete the break, Kevin.
Pressure. Trying to get to Coppin just a little bit. Hamilton going to try to stay with the quicker Troy Lewis. Rivas. Brockington has to come way out to get the catch on El Amin. Taken away by the freshman. Hardnett saves it. Boy, he's got quick hands.
Very good hands, getting the ball before the player goes up.
Hardnett. And they get him for the charge. Singletary, 2nd time he stepped in on El Amin, and El Amin is ticked.
Freshman giveth and taketh away.
Singletary saw the opportunity and stepped right in.
He does a good job. Singletary is one of those gritty kind of players.
Co-captain, senior out of Patterson, New Jersey, went to Eastside High School. Was at Ohio Valley College as a walk-on for a couple of years.
Great baseball player, too. Outfielder for Coppin State.
30-21, Connecticut. Coppin State with 10 turnovers and 8 field goals. Rivas up top. Brockington now being guarded by Rashomon Jones. And they get off the ball. Kareem Lewis, a little bit too much body. He was working against Freeman. First foul on number 34, Kareem Lewis.
He's a physical specimen, can shoot threes also.
And that is the 7th foul, is it? No, sir. It is not quite the 7th foul. Connecticut will inbound. They've got 4 team fouls. There you have the story of turnovers right there. Coppin State, 11.
Pretty standard for Connecticut. Like to try to force a lot of turnovers.
Last year, Coppin State out at 17, and contact as Hamilton took it to the glass. So Kareem Lewis, number 34.
Splits them, but somebody's waiting. I don't know about that one. Home call, maybe. I can understand.
You've been on both ends of that one, huh, big guy, huh?
You know how that is. The official's always wrong.
Hamilton, good at the line. Last year, 78%. He's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists to this point. As Kareem Lewis takes a seat. Warwick back in. In and out. Tyron Watkins also into the game. 6'8", 205-pound sophomore from Chester, PA. Definite Philadelphia flavor to this ball club. Singletary tried to finish with the right hand. The lefty couldn't do it. Connecticut in a hurry. Hamilton. Freeman baseline. It's going hard. Kevin Freeman attacking along the baseline for a 12-point Connecticut lead. Oh, a little bit of a carry there by Lewis. Warwick. Get it to the big guy. First touch, and sure enough, first touch by Tyron Watkins. Didn't play a lot last year, only about 6 minutes of ball game, and he turned it over with the travel.
Inexperience there, a little anxious playing in front of all these people in the Hartford Civic Center. I'm impressed by Connecticut's patience on defense. They're not going bananas just because their lead isn't as big as they might want, and as a result, the lead is stretching.
Coming up on 4 minutes to go, 33-21 Connecticut. Ricky Moore, Jones, they move it, and it was tipped by Singletary. Out of bounds. It'll be Connecticut ball when we return. 3:56, and Kevin Freeman, sophomore out of Springfield, Mass, and Patterson Catholic in New Jersey, showing you something along the baseline. Connecticut with an impressive lead, 33-21.
Power personified, a warrior.
Kevin Freeman to have such a great opportunity along the baseline when we last left you. Somebody had to deliver a good pass, and there it is. Here's it right there from Hamilton.
Hamilton. It's beautiful to watch, isn't it, when you see something like that? Wonderful athleticism by these young men.
Just the way you like to attack. 3:56 to go first half. It's 33-21. Connecticut on top.
Last 4 minutes here, very, very important part of the game for Coppin State. They've got to hang tough and stay in it. Connecticut has to be patient and keep executing.
Moore being harassed. Moore and Jones with Claber. Hamilton and Freeman on the floor right now for Connecticut. Freeman harassed, didn't get it off, did not beat the shot clock. Turnover number 5 for Connecticut. Monquincio Hardnett will return to the lineup. He replaces Rashomon Jones. It's Hardnett out of Macon, Georgia. Coppin State, Troy Lewis, Danny Singletary in the backcourt. We got Brockington as the third guard. Tyron Watkins and this man Fred Warwick on the floor right now for the Eagles. Warwick, good looking shot from about 16, 33-23. So Warwick, who hit a couple of shots early, shooting 3 for 8 now. He's got 8 points. Hard net from deep, hit it. Quincio hard net. Last year 0 for 2 from 3-point range. That's his, check that, 0 for 2 coming into tonight. That's his first make from deep this year. Coming up on the 2.5-minute mark, and another turnover for Coppin State.
Again, it's Watkins, and they need to get the ball to Brockington here, but Connecticut's doing a good job. They're playing solidly. They're pressuring people they need to. Little bad mismatch with Kevin Freeman on Warwick.
13 turnovers for Coppin State, averaged 17 last year.
Well, Connecticut's going to make you turn the ball over. That's their one of their calling cards.
Connecticut in no hurry right now. Moore to hard net with 8 on the shot clock. Here's Hamilton. Finds a double team, wide open. Hard net with 3 with 2 short. Kept alive and ripped down by Warwick. Warwick outside, steps back. Singletary tried to set a pick for him. Good matchup. Leaves it for Lewis, the little guy. They'll reset. Under 2 to play. Warwick goes left into trouble. Throws it off the glass. Almost had it go down. Freeman rebounds. Hamilton leaked out. Controls. Jams. 38-23. UConn. Biggest lead of the evening for the Huskies. Hamilton 4 for 6 shooting, 11 points this evening. He's got to like that. 1 for 11 the other night against Rhode Island. Singletary from way outside. Moore with the rebound. Ricky Moore runs into Klaber. Connecticut being real deliberate right now as we're under a minute to play first half. Connecticut by 15. Moore leaves for Hamilton. Can't get that. Hard net, make that Klaber with the rebound. Klaber, they're going to get him for 3 seconds. So a turnover for the Huskies. They're 6th.
Ricky Moore makes a great play here. Freeman had been beat, made a play to step in, and an easy fast break.
Gotta like the control of Hamilton on that one. Didn't rush it.
No, caught the ball with one hand, got his balance under him, made the play.
If you're Feng Mitchell, what are some of the things you want to talk about at halftime here, down by 15?
Well, first thing he wants to get Turquin Mott back so they don't have so many turnovers by those young post players.
Yeah, it would be nice, but he's now playing in the CBA. Nice leave. Watkins missed it, but he draws the foul. Watkins attacked the glass. Tyron could not get it to go. Don't forget, stay with us here at halftime from the Hartford Civic Center. Take a look at the first team preseason all Big East All-Star team. Tyron Watkins.
A little knuckleball. Spin it up there a little bit more, Tyron.
You bet. Also coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the Big East 7, what to look for in that half of the Big East Conference, in that section of the Big East Conference. Connecticut Huskies, preseason picked by the coaches to finish first in the Big East 6, while Coppin State is the favorite in the MEAC. Boy, he's got an unusual rotation, to say the least.
That's not a rotation. That's a revolving shot.
Elamine back in the game. They call a 20-second timeout to figure out the final play here. 17 seconds left on the clock.
You use your 22nd or you lose your 22nd in the first half. Only one can carry over.
Ricky Moore looking at his left hand, and he had a strained ligament in his left hand last year, along with a broken nose, a concussion, sprained ankle. Well, you name it, he had all kinds of maladies. in the 96-97 season.
Well, he's a guy who's action all over the place. A hand thing could come simply by getting his hand on a pass. You know, it doesn't have to be an accident or anything like that. It doesn't have to be anything severe. It could be just sticking his hand in the wrong place. Looks like his muscle in his forearm is bothering him a little bit. They're trying to get it loose, stretch it a little bit. They'll put ice on it at halftime.
Been very productive. He's got to think, who put the snake bite on me that I'm getting every injury under the sun this last year and change? Under 6. Elamine got to go in the corner. Freeman, no, sir. And that will do it for the first half. First half, 20 minutes complete here from the Hartford Civic Center. Jim Calhoun's UConn Huskies leading the Eagles of Coppin State by the score 38-23. Our halftime festivities coming your way after this timeout.
First half, Singletary scoring 2 points. Their lack of depth versus Connecticut, the balance and the depth of the Huskies.
Talking to Fang Mitchell beforehand, he's talking about it. A lot of his kids are guys that were coming off the bench last year when they had Turquin Mott, when they had Welch, and you know, when they were the lead guys. And now these guys, it's their opportunity to try to get it done on the floor.
They were also guys who didn't play much last year, and now they've got to play.
El-Amin Khalid out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, no points. 0 for 4, had a couple of fouls as Brockington stepped in on him. I checked that Singletary stepped in on him a couple of times. Freshman did not start, disciplinary reasons, didn't go to practice after the Rhode Island game.
Also had 3 turnovers in the first half, so it'll be interesting to see how tough he is mentally coming back for the first time this year, not playing a good half.
Good to see Ricky Moore back on the floor. He ended the first half with a hand problem, so it'll be Moore, Hamilton, El-Amin, Freeman, and Klaber for the University of Connecticut. As is tradition at Husky games, the big crowd's on its feet until the Huskies get their first field goal. Here's Moore with the first attempt. Can't get it. Brockington runs it down. For Fang Mitchell's Coppin State Eagles, we got Singletary. Here's Warwick, who got off to such a good start. Kareem Lewis. Here's Brockington being guarded by Moore. Dorian Pena, number 40. Lewis in trouble. Got an open man. Pena didn't go. It was right there. El-Amin in a hurry. El-Amin to the glass. And he can't get it. Draws the foul from Kareem Lewis. Nobody stopped the ball, Coach.
A step in the right direction for El-Amin.
Take a look at our Ford scoreboard in Arizona. Number 1 in the country and defending national champions, leading Al Skinner and the BC Eagles 42-33. Lewis with his 3rd foul. Eastern Kentucky leading Leonard Hamilton. And the Miami Hurricanes. Duke all over Chaminade over in Hawaii. That's a good ball club. Appalachian State. Buzz Peterson, the coach down there, leading NC Charlotte. El-Amin with his first point of the ball game. El-Amin with 23 points on 8 of 16 shooting against Rhode Island. He had 3 of 6 from deep, too. He comes into Connecticut with tremendous credentials. State champion out in Minnesota. Here he is guarding Singletary. Singletary, the lefty, with the pull-up. Reminding us old heads of Dick Barnett with that lefty pull-up at the foul line.
With the legs up.
You bet. Freshman El-Amin, nothing doing there. Freeman battling. Can't get the roll. Kept alive by Warwick, and it'll stay at this end of the floor. Connecticut ball.
Well, El-Amin wanted to come back, and he's going to the bench. He's trying to do too much. A lesson to be learned here with Jim Calhoun. He'll talk to him. He'll get him back in a couple of minutes. He's got to let the game come to him a little bit more right now.
Quincio Hardnett came in. And it's interesting. The game the other day against Rhode Island, he let the game come right to him, particularly in the second half when Hamilton was struggling. There's Moore. Hardnett. Hamilton calling for a walk on the Coppin State bench. No good by Hamilton. Kept alive Freeman, who's going to get it. Hamilton throws it back. Right to Hardnett. Nice look inside. And a foul as Kleber went hard to the basket.
That was a tremendous pass by Hardnett. He caught it and let it out of his hands at the same time.
Nice touch pass.
Coppin State foul number 33, Fred Warwick. His first
Warwick picks up the foul, his first.
The scramble, not calling timeout while he's fading out of bounds. And get something good.
There's another rule change for this year. Got to have complete possession.
Absolutely, good rule.
As opposed to flying out of bounds. That really became popular the last few years. I know Charles Oakley with the New York Knicks. I think he was single-handed in getting it going in the NBA, and everybody else picked up off of that. Kleber, good trip.
Cost Michigan the national championship.
Oh boy. 42-25. Connecticut opening up a lead. 15 at the half. Singletary, insistent, goes baseline and draws a foul. Hardnett picks it up for Manquencio. It'll be his second.
These guys are not easy to guard, Singletary and Brockington off the dribble. When they have space, you got to keep your butt down and keep your stance.
Make Singletary, the lefty, go right. He goes left, draws a lot of contact, and a charging foul against Danny Singleton, the co-captain for the Eagles. His second foul this evening.
We see a little team defense here as he steps in and takes the charge, as the center will do.
Elamine back into the game.
personal foul, team third. Back in the lineup for
Cross court, Hamilton's wide open momentarily. Goes baseline, drops it off. We'll stay right here. UConn Huskies, 42-25. Heading down to New York City for the Chase preseason NIT semifinals. Taking on Florida State. And the other matchup will be Kansas and Arizona State. Cross court. Elamine is open. Got a lot of rim on that one. Tipped up and in by Kleber. So the press working against Coppin State. Coppin. A little difficulty there for a few seconds to get it across the court. They have to mount some offense here. They gave that last bucket to Hamilton. He's got 13 points. Lewis with a fadeaway. Kleber with a good rebound for the Huskies. Here comes Elamine. Saw the open man Hamilton cross court. Moore, freshman's open. Got inside. Nifty pass. Khalid Elamine made it happen there.
Timeout, bang.
Singletary splits the defense. And Fang Mitchell, right on cue, Bob Wenzel, calls for the timeout. Already down 21.
A little tired. The legs are feeling a little like concrete right now with the lack of depth. Connecticut pounding it inside on them.
And the Huskies are up by 21. Huskies enjoying a 21-point lead over the Coppin State Eagles. Coppin State in the first game of this 97-98 season. And here's a look at their big moment from last March. Coppin State, the 15th seed, knocking off 2 seed South Carolina. This at the Civic Center in Pittsburgh. This was one of the great upsets last year. A fabulous moment, 78-65, the win for Coppin State. Boy, did this shock the NCAA tournament. Second round, they lost a heartbreaker to 10th seed Texas, 82-81. Great run for Fang Mitchell and company. Brockington for Scott Air. Freeman for Connecticut, and here come the Huskies. Nice move by Elamine. Open man Moore. Not a good ball movement by the Huskies. Good presence inside, Bob, as you mentioned during the break. Antrick Kleber, 6'10", 215, has done a good job off the bench. Here he is again. Had it blocked. Had it blocked by Dorian Pena. Warwick attacking, and he scores. Back come the Huskies. Elamine always with the head up. Hamilton to the glass. Tipped up. In and out. Rebound to Pena. Warwick got it teed up for three. A little long on that one. Jones a rebound. He'll settle it down. Elamine, I think, would just as soon run every play.
Got some guys breathing heavy right now.
Yeah.
Off the court 3 or 4 times. They're playing hard.
Ricky Morton Jr. says, wait a minute, hey, 3 hard wins, let's take a blow here. Elamine being guarded by Singletary. Here's Hamilton being guarded by Warwick. Moore off the curl. Nice crossover. Boy, broke his man down. He couldn't get it, though. Rebound to Watkins. Singletary going left. Get back, yo. And they're going to get Elamine for the foul. That'll be his 3rd.
He's pulling his shot a little bit. If you notice his last 2 or 3 jump shots, he's so anxious to score and wants so much to play well. He's not having any follow-through on his shot right now. When his ball's going down, he's got a great free throw, and he's got a great jumper where his fingers extend and he has great follow-through. Not so tonight.
Here's Singletary. You saw Claiborne go to the bench. He was replaced by Jake Voskel. Archibald Jones will come in, and Elamine will take a seat with his 3rd foul. Jones back in the game. He's got 5 points. Rebound to Freeman. Freeman's played well tonight.
Freeman's playing great. Hamilton's playing great. Moore. They're getting contributions from everyone. It's the strength of their team to see that Hamilton in one game can go 1 for 11 and they win big, and their leading scorer cannot score or maybe get 1 or 2 points and they still win big.
Voskel operating baseline. No, this time off the glass, and Singletary takes it down. 46-27, Connecticut over Coppin State. Second half action. Just under 15 minutes to play. Dave Sims and Bob Wenzel with you from the Hartford Civic Center. Big East basketball coming your way. Warwick pulls up. Pena, boy, did he get some traffic or what? Left it outside for Brockington. Fadeaway is good. A beauty.
He's been silent, but he's back now. He's the type of player that can erupt at any time, so you really got to be careful with him.
Game high 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting. 3 for 3 from deep. 16-point lead now for Connecticut. Hamilton, nice dump to Freeman, who wasn't ready, gets a foul and a 3-point opportunity. Boy, you know things are going right like that. He wasn't even looking for the ball, then he got the roll after the fumble.
He was going for the board, hit him in the elbow, comes up, and he's such a powerful player. He's fun to watch. He puts everything into every second he's out on the floor. Mr. Freeman.
Last year averaged pretty much those numbers, 8.5 points, 6.4 rebounds. And 58% from the line. A struggle so far this year, but good 3-point play right there. 19 points is the lead for Connecticut, 49-30.
A gradual wearing down.
You bet. Singletary. Shut down. Warwick. Boy, Voskel way outside. Good hedge.
And recover.
Warwick will let it fly. Stand still jumper. Voskel wins the war there against Pena. Moore. Hamilton from way outside. He hit it. 3-point play for Rip Hamilton. Hamilton 6 of 11 on the evening. 3 for 6 from outside. He's got 16 points, matching Brockington. Singletary cross court to an open Warwick, and he hit it. Boy, I tell you what, when he settled, I think if you went back and checked the film, I think he's had about 4 buckets where he's been dead set, catch, release, and splash it home.
Yeah, it's almost like he's more of a set shooter than a jump shooter.
Wide open Hamilton. In between shot, toughest shot. You coaches always say that's the toughest shot in the game, right?
Yeah, the guy who can pull up like that, and if he's got to drive all the way to the basket and a 3, Makes it hard to guard him.
Because so many times you see young players take it all the way to the cup, draw an offensive foul. Singletary, nothing doing there. Kept alive. Brockington's got it. Got great rotation on his shot. Hamilton, check that Singletary for Coppin State. Wide open Warwick. Frees himself. Can't hit that one. Rebound to Jones.
Maybe not as good on the move.
Yeah.
But like you said, stand still, he can knock it in. They made him dribble that time, and he missed it.
Warwick
Good defense.
Warwick with 13 points and 5 of 14 shooting. Jones and has it taken away. Brockington. Hamilton will let him have it. Antoine Brockington out of Northeast High School in Philadelphia. Out of that tough public league. He was a player of the year his senior year. And the scoring champion in that Philadelphia Public League. 22nd timeout called by the Huskies with 11:31 to go in the ball game. 54-35, Jim Calhoun's ball club. And you want to talk about a very impressive resume. A young man who's not only the coach, but he's the athletic director at Coppin State. Talking about Fang Mitchell. Last 5 years, look at those numbers. How about in the MEAC? 76-6. 5 straight titles. A couple of times they've stumbled getting into the tournament. That's a conference that only gets that one bid. And if they get knocked out in their tournament, see you later.
And everybody's shooting for them. They're the haves right now in that league. There are some outstanding players. Rod Blakeney at South Carolina State and Jerome James, a 7'1", 285 player at Florida A&M. So they've got talented teams, and they're sitting on the top of the heap, and everybody's aiming for them in their league.
Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, predominantly and historically black colleges. And I know that entire group was really happy to see Coppin State get that win against South Carolina last year in the NCAAs. Elamine back in the game and misses on that attempt. Elamine 0 for 7 from the field. So after a 23-point performance, freshman can't find it. High arching shot, no rim that time. Kept alive. Singletary wins the battle. Got numbers. Too short. Got his rebound and put it up and in. Nicely done by Danny Singletary, the 6-foot guard. Here comes Hardnett right to the glass. Missed it, and Pena takes over. Troy Lewis in to calm things down, run things from the point for Coppin State. Number 25. Here he is, takes a look. 54-37, Connecticut in command here. Lewis, one-hander is good off the glass. For Troy Lewis.
This is an uncomfortable part of the game.
You bet. First bucket of the evening for Lewis. 54-39, 10:05 to go in the ball game, and some restless UConn fans.
Well, Jim's uncomfortable here because he's got a comfortable lead. He's out a long way, but it's just not going right now. It seems the game's getting a little lethargic, and he wants to fire his guys up.
Connecticut, unlike a lot of programs, benefits of 2 courts. Gamble, and there's their schedule at Gamble. They've already played BU and Rhodey. And here at Hartford, forthcoming schedule. A lot of good-looking Big East contests.
And one might say, why so many games in Hartford away from campus? 17,000 seats with paying customers. That's why. Only 10,000 in Gamble. And they are a state team.
You bet.
They need to have the citizens of the state see them.
Oh, it's a powerful regional team, no doubt about it. I'm reminded of Jim Brock, who used to be the director of the Cotton Bowl, and he said, Dave, it's about dollars. Cutting right to the chase.
Any way you cut it, they got a great record in both places.
Yes, they do. There's Hamilton, Singletary, and Coppin State feeling a little bit of life here.
Bad foul as the shot clock's running down with only 2 left.
Jimmy Calhoun was doing his Mike Ditka impersonation, screaming at a couple of players. Wasn't getting what he wanted from Antrick Kleber. 9:41 to go in a ball game. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+. Connecticut matching its 15-point halftime lead right now with 9:41 to go. Dave Sims and Bob Wenzel with you, and Khalid El Amin still looking for his first field goal. He's 0 for 7 to this point. This coming off a 23-point performance against Rhode Island. He shot 8 for 16 in that one.
He is a freshman.
That's right. You're gonna have
that happens.
Hamilton working. Fade away a little short. And the littlest guy on the floor, Troy Lewis, with the rebound. 15 points, a couple of buckets here. We got maybe a little extra sweat for UConn. You never know. Rockington, big fade, 3 almost. Rebound, El Amin. Nobody to run with it. Wait for help. A 3-guard look with Moore, Hamilton, and El Amin for Connecticut. Moore had a window there. Up front, Freeman and Voskuhl. Voskuhl has not been heard from here second half. El Amin powers his way in and scores. His first field goal coming at the 8:54 mark.
And his first shot where he followed through.
So El Amin 1 for 8. 56-39 Connecticut. Tyron Watkins, number 50, being bothered by Voskuhl there. Here's Warwick. Guarded by Hamilton. Lewis. Lewis is no match strength-wise for El Amin. Warwick operating. Got it off. Can't get it. Nice rebound, Freeman. Freeman is 6th rebound. He's got 9 points. Connecticut in no rush.
They've gotten into the methodical mode right now.
Big people setting a lot of picks. Here's Hamilton. Pull-up is good. Boy, he's a good mid-range shooter, isn't he?
He's got the pull-up and he's got the 3. They usually set a lot of staggered screens for him. Not quite so much tonight. He's doing a little bit facing on his own.
How'd you guys, when you were at Rutgers last year, how'd you play against him?
Poorly. He had great games.
Get it over to Lewis with 18 on the shot clock. Playing such a tough schedule. Coppin State, next game, Missouri. Rockington fades away. Can't get it. Put back, no good. Voskuhl rebound. The putback by Watkins. He was right there, but couldn't complete it. El Amin and the Huskies. No hurry now at the 7-minute mark.
This is a clear thumb down play for him.
Off his foot. Voskuhl powered home. Didn't finish it. Foul on Watkins.
Jim's doing everything he can to get El Amin something going here. He loses it, but a quick look and a fiery pass to the open Voskuhl.
Coppin State foul number 50, Tyron.
Nice to see cooler heads. Watkins with a foul, his first. Tell you what, not only the college game, but people in the pros and all levels have just got to calm down. There's going to be contact in these sports. In this sport, in football, it's going to happen. It's part of the deal. Relax.
3 or 4 pro scouts. You mentioned pro. 3 or 4 NBA fellas I know here tonight, watching Brockington and a lot of the underclassmen.
But Brockington in the right situation, maybe. You never know.
You never know. He's not quite physical, but you got to look at him.
Hamilton right now leading the way for Connecticut, 60-39. The Huskies in charge. Back here at the Hartford Civic Center, 21-point lead for the UConn Huskies over Coppin State. Other action from around college basketball. It's Wake Forest leading Liberty. Wake Forest got a reload, and BC down by 18 to Arizona in the 3rd quarter. Miami trailing by a point to Eastern Kentucky. Duke a winner tonight. What a deep and loaded and dangerous ball club. Xavier big over Northeast Louisiana. Look at your USA Today, ESPN top 25 action. Get it inside. Lewis had it blocked, but a foul. This time they decided to go inside. Kareem Lewis, 6'7", 240.
Have not done much of that tonight. That was a high to low post pass, and the people playing the high post are very inexperienced. They've made a lot more turnovers than they have good passes.
Lewis with his first point of the evening, 0 for 3 thus far, and El Amin relaying instructions from Jim Calhoun.
A natural leader.
Just during the timeout. Good trip for Kareem Lewis. Shot 73% at the line last year.
If Coppin's going to make a run, they got to start doing it pretty soon.
You bet.
They come with half-court pressure.
6.5 to go here from the Hartford Civic Center. El Amin sets up Hamilton way outside. Klaber rebound. Picked off. Singletary with a man to beat. Singletary hard to the glass, and he scores. Danny Singletary. He's got 8 on the night, 4 for 10 shooting. Cross court deep now to Hamilton. El Amin stepped in for second. That voice you hear in the background is Fang Mitchell, his very distinctive roar. Every time I think about the fact that he was named after White Fang from the Soupy Sales Show, it's breaking me up because I used to watch that show all the time. Here's more.
He's a baritone in the choir, I guarantee you that.
Matter of fact, I worked with Soupy Sales on radio some years ago. Gonna reset and kill that clock. 5.5 to go for Connecticut.
It's time for them to dissect. Pick and roll.
12 on the shot clock for El Amin. Open man is Moore. Cross court. Hamilton will step. Freeman inside. Count it. They are killing Coppin State inside.
That is dissection. They took their time. Everybody touched the ball. They made the defense extend. And Hamilton made a terrific play. Little dribble penetration. Jump stop. Was a travel. Got away with it. And Kevin powers to the basket. Seems like we see a lot of Kevin powering to the basket in this game.
Talk about assists and turnovers tonight. Big edge. Connecticut 15 assists to 7 turnovers, while Coppin State has 5 assists to 14 turnovers.
And Freeman shooting well from the free throw line, uncharacteristically. Maybe he's a turn for the better here.
Connecticut fans can hope so. Singletary raises up. Nothing. Kept alive by Brockington, who gets it back. Posting with the big man. Watkins turned, lost it, got it back. In trouble and a foul. The Connecticut fans in an uproar because they wanted to travel.
They did. You don't really need to double team him. You're better off staying at home with people. Let him try to shoot the ball over Klaber and get the rebound. He's not an accomplished offensive player.
And another foul. El Amin on the hold against Danny Singletary. So El Amin picks up his 4th foul, and that at the 4:44 mark. So El Amin, the ups and downs of freshman life in the Big East. He's 1 for 8 shooting, 4 points, and 4 fouls.
All part of the learning curve, Dave. As you know, everyone goes through it. And he's getting a lot of minutes and learning a lot of lessons fast.
Archibald Jones came in to pick him up. Moore, Hamilton, Freeman, Klaber, and Jones right now for Connecticut. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in this contest, the first ever meeting between these two schools. Jones, Moore inside, challenge and had it taken away. Breakout to Singletary. Takes it strong to the hole. Well done by Danny Singletary.
The reason that happened, Dave, is because when Ricky penetrated and got to the lane, deep into the lane, nobody rotated back for defensive balance. Hamilton or Roshmel Jones should have been doing that.
See Jim Calhoun on the sideline stalking over there. He wanted that cross-court pass to Freeman, who was wide open.
The clock is running. People might ask why it takes so long. The clock is your ally when you're ahead this much.
No hurry. Just like a couple possessions ago. Here's more deep three. Can't get it. Rebound Warwick. Warwick to Singletary. Leaves for Warwick.
Dave, I believe Hamilton came up lame on that play.
And he is favoring, looks like the right leg. Kareem Lewis posting wide open. Tried to get it to the cutter. Brockington, contact, foul, Brockington. Glaber hung in there and he took a blow.
That's the second and third charge Glaber's taken.
We got a timeout on the floor, 63-45. Connecticut in charge here in Hartford. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hartford Civic Center. Dave Sims and Bob Wenzel with you. Connecticut in its fourth game of the season, leading 63-45. Jake Voskuhl with the right knee. Got some ice, came down hard on it early in the second half. And been playing, got up to a good start in the first half with 6 points and 2 rebounds coming off the big night against Rhode Island. And Hamilton, he's ailing also. Matter of fact, 2 games ago against Boston University, at one point looked like a mash unit. They had 4 or 5 guys hobbling around in the win against Boston University. They took out the Terriers 68-54 last week.
You don't know if that's a banged tendonitis. A lot of players have tendonitis, and I hope that's all it is.
Here's Elamine being guarded by Singletary. Under 3 minutes to go. This game is slowed down. Elamine went hard, got it blocked. Freeman takes over. Fade away, had that one blocked. And here comes Coppin State. Brockington, and the freshman takes it away. Alley-oop, oh, yeah! Are you kidding me? Elamine with a great steal. Look at this steal. And it keeps his head up. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. And they're seeing it here on the replay board. Oh, baby.
Unbelievable left-handed stab by Freeman.
A little strong on that. Kept now to Singletary of Coppin State. But tell you what, that was your price of admission right there. Singletary right to the hole. Nicely done.
Danny Singletary.
Singletary has no give up in him, I'll tell you that. The guy plays, he's a winner.
He's got
Plays,
12
keeps
points.
Trying.
Warwick leading Coppin. Check that. Brockington leading Coppin with 18 points. Warwick with 13. Singletary with 12. 20 points for Hamilton, tops Connecticut. 14 for Freeman. Glaber. Cross court Moore. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Elamine with 6 on the shot clock is good. A couple of really good trips for the freshman. 2 for 10 shooting now. He's got 6 points. That was some look to Freeman. Warwick. Boy, when his feet are set, forget about it. It's going in.
Freeman looked like David Thompson of NC State.
Oh, boy. Remember that?
Monty Tao, David Thompson.
Monty Tao. 74 championship. Glaber. Right hand. Count it. Off the glass and a layup. Antrick Glaber. 6'10" junior out of Silver Spring, Maryland. Not too far from Coppin State down in Baltimore.
You know, Dave, the way this game is ending, looking to Florida State, Elamine doing positive things at the end helps him.
Takes over. Fader. That is a hammer job. Look at the freshman. Yeah, baby. Glaber at the free throw line. He's got 7 points, 7 rebounds. Of all the plays tonight, that's the play they'll talk about on the bus going down to New York. Matter of fact, if they've got the tape machine on the bus, coach, run that back again.
Oh, you know they got the tape machine going. That, and they're going to get all over Voskuhl for missing his dunk. In the
That's
first
right,
half.
on the break, too. He was right there. Get on the floor. Easy, easy, easy. Brockington does a good job to get out of the way and pull Jones up.
You don't want injuries with 1:12 left, up by 20.
Up by 20 and this early in the year, no thank you.
And a game 2 days from now in the NIT against Florida State.
Florida, Connecticut, next time out for Coppin State, December 2nd at Missouri. Brockington on the run. On the move. No, sir. Rebound to Sam Funches, number 31, who came into the game. Sam got a little bit too deep and stepped on the baseline. Take a look at upcoming schedule for the Huskies. Florida State, the NIT. They got the semifinal and then either the championship round or the consolation. West Virginia, Rutgers, and Virginia. Be some action for the Huskies. Singletary called for the foul.
People might say, why play Coppin State while you're in the NIT? I think Jim, in case they lost, he wanted his hedge. He didn't want to be off for 2 weeks before he played again. And it worked out perfectly. They've had a lot of games in a few days here.
He's saying, hey, in a perfect world, I like playing Coppin State, no problem, but to have to play today and then go to New York. Weber comes out of the game to a nice ovation. 7 points, 7 rebounds in his time tonight.
So he's getting a lot of time while they wait for Suleiman Wan, who will become eligible December 20th, who's a 6'11 player who has great potential.
Jeff Seibert back into the game for the first time. Singletary fouls out, 12 points, 6 of 13 shooting, and 6 rebounds. Here's El-Amin. The lid now 3 for 3 at the line. There's Suleiman Wan, Dakar, Senegal, 6'11", 235, and they can't wait for him to be eligible. It'll be eligible December 20, right before the UMass game, and that timing couldn't be better for such
perfect timing.
Better rivalry, right?
As is Albert Mooring, the shooting guard, becomes eligible at that same time.
So if you like what you're seeing tonight in Connecticut, probably going to get even better. Chris Conley, one of the walk-ons, former soccer player here at Connecticut, number 44. Well, 38 and change.
Jeff Seibert also.
Brockington, quick move off the back foot. Sam Funches rebounds. Jones, Hartnett, 15 seconds to go. Hartnett gets it back. Funches with 7. Jones will let her rip. Why not? 3 seconds, hit the board. Seibert puts it up. Hit, go, and everybody wanted that one. And there's your final. Connecticut Huskies with a 72-50 win as the Connecticut Huskies run their record to 4-0. Coppin State in its first game drops it, and they'll be moving on to take on the University of Missouri. 72-50 is the final. Connecticut shot 38% from the field. Coppin State shot 38.5%, but it was too much inside power and depth for Connecticut in this win. 22 points over the Coppin State Eagles. We'll be back with a post-game interview right after this. With a 72-50 win over Coppin State to go 4-0 in this young season. Joining us here in our post-game interview is the Connecticut Huskies head coach, Jim Calhoun. And Jimmy, you got a lot of players in the game tonight, and you got Hamilton with 20 points. Give us, from your perspective, what did you like, what didn't you like about tonight's game?
Well, I like the fact we won. Much beyond that, I think we played good defense, particularly Ricky Moore and Brockington. I thought that might have been the key to not let them get in closer. He's a terrific player, and Ricky Moore is just a wonderful defensive player. I thought we played in spurts, and I don't like us doing that. I think we get up 22, 23, and then let it back to 15, 16. We're not going to always get up 22, and that concerns me a little more. And I think we play a little bit to the scoreboard as opposed to playing to the game. And it shows at times we are very young and we play young.
Yeah, we saw you getting on the freshman there. What kind of things were you telling the freshman, El-Amin? You took him out of the game and then got him back in a couple seconds later.
You know, he's a terrific player, and for us to be a real good team, we need him to be a good player. The one thing he did that kind of goes unnoticed in that first half, he had 3 turnovers. but the game went from a tie game to us +10 because the ball will move. He ball fakes. He moves his zone better than any kid I've probably ever had. I think the only kid I've had close to that is Sheffer. They could both move the zone without ever making a pass, and that's what he does real well. So he gets everybody involved. We'd like to run a little bit more, obviously, and we didn't do as well in that tonight.
Jim, coming in, he didn't start. You wanted to discipline him a little bit. You're about to play Florida State in the NIT. He's coming off probably his least productive game from the standpoint of scoring. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts going into the Florida State game.
Well, I mean, I think big thing is that Khalil's got a chance to be a special player, and we just felt that he had a terrific game against Rhode Island, and then not quite as good in practice on Saturday as young freshmen will do. And I just tell the kids this is a good opportunity to show me that you're as good as I think you are. And he'll play a lot against Florida State, obviously. And, you know, we wanted to get Roshmel Jones some confidence. I'm not sure that worked out all that well. But bottom line is those are the least things I'm concerned about. I'm more concerned about him approaching the game, as we all need to do, for 40 minutes. We haven't put together a 40-minute game, which is remarkable that we are 4-0.
I want to ask you about Rip Hamilton. Struggled the other night against Rhodey, 1 for 11, came back very nicely tonight.
Yeah, and he got tired tonight, too. I don't know why we look tired, but we look tired for a team that hadn't played in 6-7 days, plus we had Thursday and Friday off. I think that's going to bode well a little bit, though, on Wednesday, because we're going right down to New York now, and we'll get some sleep and have practice, and then they'll have a long time before they play on 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. But bottom line is that Richard needed to just concentrate. He wasn't the 29-point scorer because he's not fully back yet. He wasn't the 1 for 11 against Rhode Island either. He's a lot closer to what you saw tonight.
Jim, you're going to go to New York right after this game. This game is scheduled because of why, and how does it affect the team? I'm sure you're not too happy going in thinking, geez, these guys maybe are thinking about the NIT and they're not thinking about Coppin State. How do you approach that?
Well, I mean, I think we needed to schedule this game because we were playing a team that was ranked 19th, 20th in the country in Rhode Island, and if we could have lost to them, certainly, and we wouldn't have had a game for 2 weeks, and there was no way that was going to happen. I don't think this is going to affect either Wednesday or Friday's game. We don't play again until a week from Wednesday after that. I think the kids all say they'd rather play than practice. I think you get into, and I think you know what I'm talking about, Bobby, and you get into a game rhythm.
Right.
And I think many times 3 games in a week sometimes is comfortable. We'll have tomorrow off, relax, and I'll actually smile and be halfway nice to the crowd. I saw a lie to me.
Come on, it's the holiday season. Hey, let me ask you the final question here. Voskuhl with his knee, what's his condition?
Everybody appears, at least hopefully right now, to be just banged up. My biggest concern might be Richard Hamilton. I think that that same thigh that he was out for 2.5 months, he said he felt something funny in there, but I think he felt a little fatigue, and hopefully we'll get some ice on that and get him ready back for Wednesday.
Jim, thanks for joining us, and happy Thanksgiving. Good luck down in the Chase preseason NIT Final Four. Jim Calhoun joining us after the Connecticut Huskies defeat Coppin State by the count of 72-50, and they're heading down to New York City, as Jim mentioned, to take on Florida State on Wednesday. As we look at other scores from around the top 25, Arizona blitzing Boston College by 30. That is in the 4th quarter. Elsewhere in college basketball, Miami has taken a lead against Eastern Kentucky, 48-41. Duke, a final from earlier this evening out in Hawaii, 106-70. And Xavier, impressive over Northeast Louisiana. Mississippi, Rob Evans' club over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 50-12, and they've got that one pretty much in command. NC Charlotte. Looks like they're going to lose another game. Appalachian State's got them 61-57. And that'll do it. Final stats. A look here, Bob Wenzel. The shooting tonight for the Huskies, 24 of 63. And look at the line, 18 of 20.
Well, they did a tremendous job on the free throw line. And last year, they weren't quite as good a free throw shooting team. They were great defensively. And they showed that. I know Jim wants more from them, and he's demanding of them. But they did a great job on the free throw line tonight. They showed poise and confidence. And to me, Connecticut, in these, if we took these 2 games, you have a microcosm where they play Rhode Island, a ranked team, and their star player, Hamilton, doesn't have a great offensive night and win pretty convincingly. And they come in and play a team like Coppin State, which is a dangerous team. No coach wants to play a team like this that's not well known but outstanding, with guys who can burn from 3-point range. And they come in, and Khalid El-Amin, their leading scorer, doesn't have a good game, and they win convincingly. The strength of the program, the strength of their depth.
And you can see why Connecticut is picked first in the Big East 6 for this coming season.
You can. And I'm really anxious to see them against Florida State, because that team has a lot of shot blocking. And inside, Voskuhl's going to have his hands full.
Bob Wenzel, great first effort. Welcome to the broadcast biz. Way
Thank
to
you,
go,
sir.
my man. Bob Wenzel, for Bob Wenzel, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us again. The final 72-50, Connecticut over Coppin State. Thank everybody associated with this broadcast. We hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time. And have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.